Real talk for real people, right here in the Inland Empire. We are 1050 AM KCAA.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a child of God, a husband, NRA conservative, radical right-wing supervillain, and Twitter rock star. American by birth, Texan by choice, and a badass by nature. He's the owner of TomO'Halloran.com, O'HalloranMedia.com, and PatriotRadio.net. Please welcome Tom O'Halloran.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Jihad on America. I am your host, Tom O'Halloran, broadcasting tonight from an underground bunker deep in Arkansas, Nebraska. I'm here to educate, irritate, and agitate. And folks, if you're not agitated by the time this hour's over, the terrorists may have already won. If you'd like to join the conversation tonight, please call 888-909-1050. If you'd like to listen on your phone, the number is 832-999-1050. You can also listen to the live stream or now watch the live stream video at PatriotRadioshow.com. You can also log into the chat room and chat with the other listeners. Again, my name's Tom O'Halloran. I'm Twitter. I am TPO_hisself. My primary blog is TomO'Halloran.com. When you get there, be sure to follow me on Facebook, on Facebook, Twitter, Spreaker, and any other social media you like. Also, please follow my editor, Veronica Coffin. Veronica does most of the heavy lifting on the websites these days, and without her doing that, I couldn't do this. Also, please visit our Facebook page for the show. It's facebook.com/Patriot Radio Show. I'm on air 3 nights a week, so be sure to catch Patriot Radio with Tom O'Halloran every Tuesday and Wednesday at the same time. That is 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. On Friday nights, I do this show, Jihad on America, where I cover the Islamists in America. Who they are, what they want, and why you should be afraid. Each week we continue pulling back the mask of Islam and looking at what's being done in the name of Islam, both here and abroad. We do the news of Islam abroad because it's a look into the future of America if we continue to allow the cancer of Islam to spread here in the homeland. If you did not catch my show on the Muslim Brotherhood or my show Islam is Not a Religion, then please, for yourself, for me, and for America, find your way to PatriotRadioshow.com and listen to these 2 shows. They'll open your eyes. They'll make you see things that you had not known before, and you'll never again hear the word Islam or Muslim and think the same way that you did. It'll also give you a good foundation upon which we build each week right here on Jihad on America. Keep abreast of all of my shows. Listen to the live stream as well as archives of shows you may have missed, all on PatriotRadioshow.com. I'd like to thank my sponsor for tonight, A Taste of Texas, the absolute best steakhouse in all of Houston. My friends Paul Carter and David Wilcox treated me to the absolute most delightful steak that I've had since I left Las Vegas a couple of years ago. I had the ribeye. My wife had the prime rib. Phenomenal. I wanted to go out and lay in the bed of my pickup truck and just sleep it off, but I came back to you instead. If you're anywhere in the Houston area, make sure you find your way to Taste of Texas. It's on the I-10, just inside the Beltway. Okay, we're going to start the show the same way we start it every week, bring you up to date what's been going on with the religion of peace in the last 7 days since last we talked. The religion of peace. Islam. In Afghanistan, 3 people dead and 2 wounded when a gruesome Taliban bomb produces dead civilians. Iraq, 19 dead and 2 wounded. Reports emerge of the Islamic State slaughtering 19 boys and kidnapping 2 girls from an extended family. 3 female teachers and 2 children are incinerated by a remote-controlled blast in Pakistan. Nigeria, 6 refugees from an earlier attack are hunted down and killed by Boko Haram. Iraq, Kucho, another 300 religious minorities are slaughtered in cold blood by the Islamic State after refusing to convert. They would rather be slaughtered by Muslims than to become one, rather than forsaking God. God bless them, and may he hold them in his hands. Iraq, Kucho, 80 men are slaughtered and their women and children enslaved after refusing to convert. Syria, 700 tribesmen are executed by the caliphate over the course of a week, mostly by beheading. 700 people in 1 week, just because they could. Folks, this is the religion of peace. This is Muslims killing Muslims. They live to kill non-Muslims. Can you imagine how much sympathy and compassion you or I would get? We saw it this week when they beheaded one of our own. And Obama's going to attack them with hashtags on Twitter. It's disgraceful, his lack of spine, his lack of resolve to stand up for America, to show them that the caliphate cannot happen when America is here. We have the power, we have the weapons, we have the people that have the drive to wipe out the scourge. But he won't. He'll send them more arms so they can kill more people. Britain today reports there are twice as many British Muslims fighting for ISIS as there are fighting in the UK armed forces. British Muslims, 2-1, fighting for ISIS, which means fighting against the UK when they get involved in these skirmishes. It's horrible. We ought to just pack them up, send them back. If they are Muslim, if they are Islamist, if we even suspect that they are, send them back. They're unhappy in their country. They want to migrate to all these other countries, and then they want us to change to accommodate them. They want us to go their direction, to live in the Stone Ages. Feel secure with the security systems. TSA, and these terrorists are trying to attack us any way they can. TSA reports that Teflon tape, molded plastic explosives, and handguns are all concealment tricks that a group of researchers were able to pull off on a rapid scan Secure 1000. That's the scanner in most of the airports and government buildings. These researchers are hiding plastic explosives and guns from the very machines that are supposed to be catching these dirt bags. I'll tell you what, and these aren't little plastic guns. Here's a 38 ACP, a knife, C4 explosive simulation material. This is horrible stuff. But they'll pat down grandma. They'll pat down those little kids, won't they? Field strip those guys in a heartbeat. Meanwhile, a bunch of middle-aged Muslims will walk through with Osama bin Laden t-shirts on and get waved through because we don't want to offend them. Oh, New Jersey. Police captured another dirtbag. Hassan Brown, 29. This dirtbag he's a, obviously, Muslim terrorist. Went up to Seattle and killed 3 people. Then came back to New Jersey and killed somebody else. All because they made their feelings about Islam known. That's all right. Come after me. Kick my door down. See how far you get. Folks, We got some bills to pay. Please stay with us. Please stay with us. Please stay with us. My tongue's not working. We got a lot more coming up for this hour, folks. Thanks for showing up. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Inland Empire, for listening to KCAA Radio.
Tom O'Halloran.
We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. All brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Of my red, white, and blue.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Jihad on America, and I am your host, Tom O'Halloran. Also take note, I'm on the air 3 nights a week. Be sure to catch my show, Patriot Radio, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the same time. That would be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, what's next? Syria, the war in Syria, the death toll, over 180,000 dead. And Obama couldn't be bothered to getting involved and saving any of those lives. 180,215 people. That's 58,000 civilians, 9,400 children, and 6,000 women. And we do virtually nothing other than arm the Muslim extremists who ship the guns over to Iraq and Afghanistan to use them to kill our boys. And we shouldn't be involved there anyway. We should have left Assad as the president, which he still is the president, and just let him run the country. All of that was unnecessary until Obama decides that he needs to be replaced. Last week, Abu Mosa was an ISIS spokesman who promised to humiliate the United States on the battlefield and then raise the flag of Allah at the White House. Well, you missed it. He's been isolated. He was taken out in I believe it was a drone attack, yes. Taken out with taken out with a drone attack. Every once in a while, even Obama gets something right. A Palestinian leader in Miami, here in the homeland, this piece of garbage, he boasts about conquering American Jews. He says, praise be to God. Each day we conquer the American Jews like our conquests over the Jews of Israel. Why is this guy allowed to stay in the country? I mean, this is hate speech against Americans, Jews here in America, Jews, Israel, our ally. This guy should be deported post-haste, sent to a cave, and dropped like we dropped the food that we were sending to the Christians on the mountain, dropped from 15,000 feet so he could explode like the water we sent to the refugees. This is disgusting. Praising the attacks on the Jews and being allowed to live in the United States. There's no call for that. Of course, as long as it's anti-Jew and anti-American, Obama will probably get him a condo on Miami Beach. Kuala Lumpur, Muslims supporting the caliphate are ready to hit pubs and discos and breweries, dreaming up the Islamic caliphate. We need to end this, people. If you're still on the fence about this Islamic thing, it needs to end, and it needs to end fast. They're picking up speed. They're organized. They've got military training. They've got billions with a B, billions of dollars that they've taken from banks. In Iraq and Syria, they've got weapons, Humvees, tanks, Stinger missiles, Tomahawk missiles, Black Hawk helicopters. I think they have 4 of those. And all they do is get stronger and stronger and stronger. They had a dam that they had control of. Had they blown the dam, they would have sent a wall of water 60 feet high that would have flooded out 3 cities and killed over 1.5 million people. Fortunately, one of Obama's, quote, humanitarian aid missions used a drone attack and took out the Iraqi or the Islamic State that was holding up at the dam. So the Iraqis, I believe it's the Kurds, have control of that now and will probably be able to defend it rather handily. Talk about pieces of garbage. Reverend Al Sharpton, and I say reverend with a real tongue-in-cheek, he's a disgusting race-baiting piece of crap. He flies down to Ferguson, Missouri, trying to stir up the protests, trying to get the blacks to rise up against the police. Of course, he was replaced by the one of the top race baiters in the country, Eric Holder. But now this dirtball is supposed to endorse Sharia law at a CARE convention. Now, CARE is not C-A-R-E, like we care about you. CARE is the Council on American Islamic Relations. This is an offshoot of the Muslim Brotherhood. And this wasted piece of flesh is going to be the keynote speaker at a pro-Muslim Brotherhood and Stand Up for Jihad convention to be held in Arlington, Virginia on September 27th. This is unacceptable. A Muslim Brotherhood supporter. This is a terrorist organization. Why is this piece of garbage not behind bars? These guys are killing our guys. And Reverend Sharpton wants to endorse them, be a keynote speaker. He's endorsing Sharia law. Sharia law is what allows them to beat their wives. It's what allows Muslim men to hold stonings for their wives and daughters if they show their knees in public or walk with a man in public. Sharia law is what allows vaginal mutilation. 90% of the females in Arab countries, 90% of the females suffer vaginal mutilation. This is where they take a razor blade and cut parts off, and they stitch parts up so that it is unusable. Sharia law is what Reverend Sharpton wants to have happen here in America. If not, why would he be endorsing it? You're not going to say it's good enough for them over there, but not here at home. No, if it's good, you want it, right, Al? You piece of garbage. You should be locked up, Al Sharpton. In Norway, these Muslim scumbags, they're demanding a breakaway Islamic nation in Norway, right in Oslo, the capital city. They want a part of the city to be a Sharia law compliant Muslim nation. They say, we do not wish to live together with dirty beasts like you. We're dirty beasts? Hello? Hello? We're not the ones having sex with goats. They're demanding that if they don't get it, there will be another 9/11 in Oslo. People, we need to wake up, not just as a country, but as a world. We need to wake up, get some bunker busters out, drop them on mosques during high prayer. We need to find areas like Dearborn, Michigan, sections of Nashville, sections of New York, sections of California, where these dirt bags are gathering together, sections of Texas where they have Islamic training grounds, terror training camps right in Texas. And we need to end this. It's happening. They're training for jihad right here. Here in America, we've got upwards of 1,000 people that have left here. that have left America. These are Muslims that immigrated here, legally or illegally. And then they pack up to go home, quote unquote. And they're fighting in the jihad. They're learning how to do bombs, how to scope out buildings and blow them up, how to make suicide bombs, how to handle and smuggle missiles, dangerous chemicals. And they're going to bring them back home and to continue fighting the enemy. But when they get here, the enemy is you. The enemy is me. So it's time to take our heads out of the sand and do something about it. We can't let the United States become as corrupt and ungodly as most of the UK has been in the last several years, as Norway is right now. With so many Muslims there, they can call the shots. It's time to wake up, people. Before it's too late. It almost is now. Folks, stick with us. We still got a whole lot more coming up. I do appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be right back.
The truth hurts, then AM 1050 KCAA can be a real pain.
Tom O'Halloran, holding the line against tyranny from Washington, D.C.
Welcome back. This is Jihad on America. I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. I appreciate you tuning in. I know there's a lot of choices for a Friday night, and I appreciate you taking the time. I've got a guest joining me now, a friend of mine. His name is Ron. He holds his own radio show on Blog Talk. I'll get him in here in a second, let him talk to us about that. And he's going to join us for the conversation about these Islamic heathen that are amongst us. Ron, are you there with us, brother?
I'm here with you, Tom. How you doing tonight?
Hey, man. Better than I deserve to be. Listen.
Well, I was your first caller ever, if you don't remember, so I hold that distinction.
I do, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being there every week. I know you're in the chat room, and when you can't get into the chat room, we had a problem with it last week. I know you're listening, and I appreciate that big time. Tell us about your show, when it's on, and the whole bit.
We come on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, on Blog Talk Radio. It's the BNR radio show. We call it The Last Stand, and just go in there and search for HOV Radio. It's on the HOV Radio Network. Loki, a guy that used to run that network, passed away, and a lady that goes by the name in there of Iggy decided to carry on the show. She's a devout follower. She loved that guy so much she wouldn't let that show go down. He was a big constitutionalist. He loved the Constitution, and we try to carry on. We can't carry on like he did. The guy was, he was a brain. You know, we do our best. We just try to uphold what we can. But this guy could go on. He could have a show 7 nights a week talking about the Constitution. And I loved it when somebody tried to, call in and argue with this guy because he would just shut him down so quick. Kind of a Mark Levin type guy.
Mark Levin or a Stovall.
Yeah, you got to know what you're talking about when you call him. Don't call in there and try to throw something at him and think you'll get away with it because he'd shut you down quick. Yeah. But I got a couple of things for you. I want to get your take on it. One is about the body armor. This law they're trying to put in Congress is trying to pass. Trying to outlaw body armor for any use. Is that crazy? I mean, since when has that been a problem for them? Another friend of mine on another show tonight brought it up. It's been kind of something that gets my attention. I think about it a lot. But, why? Why are they doing that? You think about this now. Why are they doing it? There's an underlying meaning. There's more to it than what people realize. And as another friend of mine said earlier today, since when have you seen a thug or a hood in the street wearing body armor? They're not trying to take it away from them. They're trying to take it away from the legal people, the people that are trying to do the right thing. They want to take it away from you.
Absolutely.
Not
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
preppers from the Second Amendment crowd, they want to be able to shoot us and have us go down.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, speaking of your show, I want to get back on that for just a sec. Folks, if you go to patriotradioshow.com, I've got a link in the center column right at the top. It says radio shows I like. Click on that. I know this is your absolute favorite radio station in the world, but there's a lot of other great shows. Behind that button, there's probably 25 or 30 shows that Ron and I both listen to on a regular basis. Some really great radio. And Ron, my hat's off to you, brother. I've been to your show just a couple of times. I've never been a real radio guy until I started doing this. Yeah. And I've got probably 35, 40 shows under my belt already, and I don't have nearly the chat room that you guys have. Every time I tune in, you've got 15 to 25 people in there. That's awesome.
Yeah, we actually have been bumping 30 here lately, but and we're fortunate to do that because me and Brian, who goes by Smoky Texas, in there. We hang around with some pretty good guys. We got a lot of good friends, and they supported us. We did a test show. It wasn't even supposed to be. First we weren't going to do it live, and then we made it live, and it was just a test show, and everybody showed up. We had 25 people in there, I think, that night. So it just showed us the support we have, and me and him both. We're not. I don't know how you do what you do. You carry on, 3 shows a night. It takes everything out of me to do one show a week, And Brian, he does 2 to 3, I believe, shows a week.
Yeah,
I think it's 3. It's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, you guys.
It's a whole lot of work. And I also, after the show, so I do about 3 hours of show prep. Then I do my show, and then it takes me about another hour to hour and a half to post the video, then download the audio, and I always cut the audio so that when they listen to it after the fact, they don't have to listen to all the commercials and stuff. And then I post that up on Spreaker, and I post that up on the show page. So, yeah, I put about 4 hours into it, and it's going to get worse because I'm getting ready to have my show on a couple of other networks. I won't name them just yet, but in the next week, well, I can name one of them. I'm going to be on WTRU, True for Truth, W-Truth. And it's a brand new upcoming network, but we've got a great lineup of people, both on air and behind the scenes talent. So, but that's just going to be more work. More uploading and cutting and all that stuff for it. So,
yeah, Brian told me today we're fixing to be on iTunes. I said, "How are we doing that?" He goes, "I'm doing it." I said, "Okay." Just let it go with it.
Yeah, I need to talk to Brian on that because I need to get up there. I was trying to get on iHeart. I put my request in. You got to have 5 shows and 100 followers. I've got about 300 or 400 followers now, and I'm up to about 50 shows and well over 1,000 listens. So I'm not sure why they haven't answered, but it's been about 3 months.
Yeah,
so, I got to do the iTunes thing as well. Lord knows.
Yeah. And what else do I have? I was going to bring up another thing. Another thing that bothers me when we talk about Islam, and the media does this worse, Tom, than anybody that I can think of. They like to call it radical. They like to separate radical Islam and Islam. I see no difference.
There is no difference.
I see them all as the same thing. And what's it going to take to get this through these people's heads that they all are the same thing? Whether you hear from them or not, they're radical. Every one of them are radical. Just because they're quiet don't mean they're not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I say that all the time. The people that I read off at the beginning of my show every week, those are Muslims. Those are Muslims that weren't radical enough for the radicals, so they got killed.
Yeah.
So when it comes your time, you're either going to get more radical or we're going to kill you. Well, guess what? Most people are going to do the radicalization thing. Because you either step up and do what they say Allah wants you to do, which is kill the kafir, or we're going to kill you.
Yep.
So it's really not a complicated choice. And I posted something today. I'm going to look while we're talking. I posted a thing about a guy that was engineer at a radio station, or maybe it was a TV show. He was a Muslim, and he wanted to show the other side of Muslims, wanted to show the good, nice, non-radicalized Muslims. And so him and his wife started doing this show, raising the awareness and so forth and so on. And everything went well until, well, she ticked him off, so he beheaded her. There goes that whole
how they respond
concept.
to anything.
So here it is. In 2004, Muzammil Saeed Hassan started an English-language American Muslim TV network, Bridges TV, with the purpose of opposing harmful media stereotypes. He said Muslims think they are not actually Muslims think they are not accurately portrayed. And Bridges TV gives American Muslims a voice and will depict them in everyday, real-life situations. In 2004, he was awarded by CARE for this effort. In 2009, he was charged with beheading his wife. So you can put lipstick on a pig, basically. They can put on glasses, a tie, and a nice blazer or a nice suit, and look like us. But when the time comes, they will behead you, and then they will behead your baby and your dog. Your goat, they'll probably just take for leisure purposes.
True. What you said is true, and like I said, nowadays the Muslims and the Islamists in this country are wearing three-piece suits, and they got their hair cut short and got their beard shaved off, and that's how they deceive you. They're trying to blend right in, and I've seen many stories where they try to actually make you think they are Mexican because of their skin color. They try to pass themselves off being Mexican and not, from the Middle East.
They are coming across the border, and they are blending into the Hispanic communities. They stop in Mexico. They learn some of the language, and they live up in the Mexican neighborhoods to blend in. But even the 9/11 bombers, they would hang out at strip clubs, sit around drinking beer, blending in.
That's what they do.
All the better to kill you with. That's what it is. So it is not. It is not. In fact, even Erdogan, the Prime Minister of Turkey, had a quote: "There is no such thing as moderate Islam. There is only Islam." That's their words. That's not our words, people. It's their words that say they want to topple the United States. Their words, not our words. To remove the Constitution and instill Sharia law. Their words, not ours. And people just keep endorsing them, putting their arms around them. And what I don't get are these idiot liberals, these stupid, boneheaded liberals that endorse the Muslims on one hand, and they endorse the gay, lesbian community. How do you explain to your friends on your right that the friends on the left want to take their head off because of their gayness? How do you justify this? It's beyond me. And I don't mean all liberals are stupid. God knows, I've never said that. But there are enough of them that are still endorsing and still saying we should extend our open arms to the Muslims. No! You don't endorse and put your arms around somebody that says they want to kill you. I don't know, Ron. My wife said we should get off the fence and make a decision here.
Well, we have that problem with people that so-called on the right doing the same thing. People that want you to believe they're right there with you, and they're doing the same thing. You've got who is it? Not Rand Paul. Golly, we got a
Chris
congressman right now. Well, basically wanting to embrace the illegals. Which are a bunch of them.
Oh,
There's a bunch of
Paul Ryan.
Bunch of rhinos. Yeah, Paul Ryan. There you go. Paul Ryan. I couldn't come up with that name. Paul Ryan is wanting to embrace these people and take them in and be sympathetic. And he lost. He has no chance now as far as conservatives go. Conservatives are up in arms against him. Yep. Because his true colors are showing.
Absolutely. He's looking at the vote the same as the Democrats are. And if you're going to sell your soul for that, you're out of luck. Hey, Ron, can you hold over with me? We got one more set, but we do have a hard stop.
Okay, go right ahead.
All right. Folks, stick around. We'll be right back.
KCAA.
Tom O'Halloran has a not-so-common core spelling lesson for the Obama administration. Ready? There is no K in America.
There's kids that can't pray in school, $100 tanks of gas. I can tell you right country ain't supposed to be like that. No, that ain't my America. That ain't this country's roots. You wanna slam all on the Sam, but I ain't letting you. Yeah, I'm mad as hell, and you know I still bleed red, white, and blue. They ain't us, and that ain't my America. Oh no, that ain't my America. No, 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 no. That ain't my America. Oh no.
And we're back. Thank you. This is Jihad on America. I'm your host, Tom O'Halloran. On the phone with me tonight is my friend Ron of BNR Radio over on Blog Talk Radio. Again, I'd like to thank my sponsor for the evening, Taste of Texas, one of the finest steakhouses in all of Houston. Ron, you still with me, brother?
I'm still here. I got to try that place out. I haven't ever been to that one.
Oh, man, it's just phenomenal. You know, I came in from Vegas 2 years ago, and in Vegas we had the absolute best steakhouses in the whole country, because if they've got a great restaurant in Dallas or New York, they've got one in Vegas as well. So we just had everything there. And I had my favorite. We would eat there one week, and the next week we'd try something else, and then we'd come back to my favorite and we'd try another one. So it was like a nonstop journey, if you will, through the best steakhouses in town. And we got here in Texas, and I know Texas is the state pet is a cattle. But I've just had some disappointing dinners. I mean, the meat's flavorful, but I haven't had the real dry aged, melt in your mouth beef since I got here, and it was just heaven tonight. So, got to give them a try.
I will do that.
So, what's your favorite steakhouse before we get back into the ugly stuff?
While you were talking about that, I was thinking of one over in Clear Lake in the NASA area. And I'm drawing a complete mental blank right now. I cannot think of their name, but it's a pretty upscale place. Can't go there very often because you'll go broke. But they have really, really good steaks. And
would that be Perry's?
Perry's, well, yeah, Perry's is one of the good ones. Yeah, I'm thinking of another one. Perry's Perry's is my mother's favorite. She loves that place.
Yeah, I heard Papa Do's Steakhouse is good. I've had their Mexican, but not the steak.
Yeah, they're to me, Papa Do's. It's called Papa Do's, and that's to me that's just more of a chain. You know, I like the mom and pop places more better than
Yeah, I've been doing the chains and have been quite disappointed. I'm not even thrilled with the Ruth's Chris chain. You know, it's not bad, but it isn't the same as what I'm used to up there. So did you see this thing come across the wires today? We got this Muslim woman in the UK. She watches the execution of James Foley, the American that was beheaded on video. And she goes on her Facebook page and she says, "I want to be the first woman to kill a UK or US terrorist.
Isn't that something?
May a drone find her Muslim butt with a bacon-coated strike."
Yep.
It just galls me that these people can say this kind of stuff in public. So hopefully
they don't care, and that's actually their true beliefs. You know, I mean, we always talk about the men, and that's what I tell people all the time. You see these women that are always quiet, you know, beside their men. You know, I'm talking about the people here in America. You see, you know, they're real quiet. They don't say nothing, but they believe the same way. Because if they don't, they'll chop their head off tomorrow if they speak out against it. So, and they know that.
Yep, absolutely.
So they're hardcore. They're hardcore. They're just kind of like the silent part of the crowd. You know, they're not going to speak out. So,
remember the Cold War? We called them sleeper cells.
Yep.
And that's what they are. They're going to be real quiet. They'll be the engineer in the next booth, in the next cube or whatever. But when their population becomes 5% or 8% of the overall population for a given area, they start getting boisterous and rowdy. When they get around 10 or 15%, you'll see them in the streets protesting with "Behead the Infidel" signs. The same as they do in France and Spain and the UK. It's just got to be stopped, and I can't believe that we look to the European region and don't wake up and say, "Hey, we got to stop this now."
Well, something I've been seeing big in the news just in the last 2 days, Tom, is they're talking about the IS or ISIS, and now they prefer to call it IS now. They're talking about there's going to be a major attack on American soil, and that's very obvious it's going to happen because the borders are open. They're letting them come through in hordes. And I've seen stories just today, about, it's going to be a major event. Like, football season's getting ready to kick off. That always comes to mind to me, football season. Yeah, they've got their security, but these people also have their connections. And then the biggest story I've seen just today was stories out of Chicago, actually right out of Chicago and WGN in Chicago. They're running stories about, potential attacks upon their city.
Yep, absolutely.
And so I think people need to wake up in this country. The problem we have is by the time they wake up, it's already going to take place. I hate to say
unfortunately,
that, but
because everybody at the top, Obama, you got the head of the CIA, you got the head of the Defense Department. These are all anti-Israel, pro-Islam. The head of the CIA, I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. He's a converted Muslim.
Yeah.
You've got Obama. Holder just hates America. Anything anti-American, he's all for it. And these people are going to turn a blind eye to it.
I said from the get-go that Obama and Holder are both Muslim brotherhoods. You can call me a liar and say you don't. I've said it from the get-go. You watch. In the end, I'm going to be right on that. I guarantee you they are. They're members of it.
Well, I know Obama has to be because he's just got too many of them around him. He holds these private meetings with them. The Muslim Brotherhood has had probably 50 meetings in the White House. Plus, he's appointed 7 people to his cabinet.
Yep. And he did everything in his power to put them in power in Egypt. It backfired on him. And I'm sure he's upset about that. But good for him because, Egypt woke up and smelled the coffee. And they kicked them out. And now they're basically claiming, Muslim Brotherhood is a terrorist organization like we should as well.
Like every other nation has, basically.
Yeah, except for America because Obama's one of them. He protects them.
What I don't understand is the people of Egypt rose up. The people of Syria rose up. The people of Iran rose up. They got swatted down in most of those places. What happens here in America? Where are all the people that want our freedom? We're supposed to be the cradle of freedom and liberty. We're getting our rights trampled left and right, and everybody just, oh well, it's for our better safety. What the heck, people? It's nuts.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Tom, I'm going to step out real quick because I know you got to close this thing up here pretty quick.
Brother, I appreciate you always listening. I always know you're there. I make it a point to do a better show just because I know you're there. Thanks for calling. Thanks for stopping by. And you have yourself a truly blessed weekend, my friend.
You bet. God bless.
You too. Folks, we're in a pickle. We're in a real pickle. We got Islamists in leading positions in the country. We've got them living amongst us. We've got them sneaking across the border. And every one of them, from the leader in the White House, Barack Hussein Obama, to his advisors, the people telling him to take all the references to Islamic terrorism out of the training for the FBI, all of them want to see the destruction of America and the American way. Don't let it happen. It's not too late to turn this thing around, but you've got to get involved. At this point in the fight, you're either helping or you're part of the problem. And it's time to take the gloves off and fight for what you believe in. Either we engage the enemy now while we're still in the majority, or we accept the fact that we're going to be turning America over to our grandkids as an Islamist nation. And I'm not willing to sign off on that, my friends. I hope you aren't. I hope you aren't either. Good night, America. God bless you and yours. This is Tom O'Halloran. I'm out.